Well, we are definitely not at the right height for ideal splitting, but let's give it a whirl. We've got the Casterman Timber Pilot, the 5-pound Timber Pilot, which is now my absolute favorite splitting tool. As you can see why. That is ugly wood. And I think it's soaking wet. Well, just for kicks and giggles, let's check out the moisture content here, and I'll tell you what's going on here on Catbird Hill. That was a whopping 34%. So what we've got here, sort of in succession from front to back, from foreground to background, are logs that were salvaged from trees I had taken down a few years ago. And probably a third of the trees that were taken down were this variety here, which is silver maple, soft maple. And most of those trees that were taken down were either already fully dead or 3/4 of the way dead. So this wood was probably not in great shape 3 years ago when it was taken down. I did have the tree service put it up on some logs here just to kind of get it out of the mud. But I've been looking at this, and the woodpeckers have been starting to attack it. And I need more wood. We all selling firewood, we all need more wood. And I thought, well, I know that these logs are not going to be premium mill logs at all. Even though there's definitely spalting in them, and you can see this one here that we opened up, it has some of that grayish tint, which is the common with maple, the spalting maple or the spalted maple. But for the size of the log and the fact that a lot of the outer edge is kind of punky, my thought was, let's just turn this into firewood. So it has been, as you know from the prior video, it's been so wet and muddy here. You can see it's kind of hazy today. It's almost 60 degrees, and I'm actually in a full sweat right now. I can't believe it, because 1 week ago today, I was snow blowing our driveway here, and freezing cold. It was probably about 12, 13 degrees. So about a 50-degree temperature swing in 1 week. No wonder everybody has colds and all kinds of stuff going on. So these logs, what I did is I had the tree service folks put those logs that were in the worst shape at this end, and the ones that were in much better shape, maybe the trees were still alive, I had them lay them out that way. So I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 silver maple logs, and the rest of those are all black walnut. And the good thing about black walnut is it lasts a long time, even on the ground. So I have a feeling these are going to be fine, but this wood, obviously at 30+% moisture content, is just way too wet to be selling. But it's going to be it's a fun exercise here to split it up. It'll be a good workout. Again, I cannot bring my tractor out onto this property. Not only would I tear it up, but I would be really worried, because I'm on a hill here. Once I get back into that area where it's very steep, I'm going to lose traction very quickly. Let's talk a little bit about the Firewood ProSizer. By the way, welcome back to Catbird Hill. I'm sorry I didn't welcome you earlier. My mother would not be happy with that. So anyhow, you saw in maybe a couple of videos ago, I was cutting back in our woods there, and I was testing out the Firewood ProSizer on the Echo 7310, and this is the model I was using. This was, I think, kind of what they call their Pro model or their Premier model. I'm not really sure of the exact nomenclature, but this particular model, not only does it adjust right and left, but there's an axis here that allows it to adjust up or down. So this is sort of the premium model, and I really like it, particularly for a larger saw when I am going to be cutting larger logs like the silver maples back there. They're probably, 18, 20 inches in diameter. This gives me the flexibility to adjust that up and down. And I don't know if you can see it in the back there on the back wall of the truck bed. I'll try to zoom in. Hopefully you can see the little green laser dot there, and to the right is the red one, which I have on the Steel 026. And so Bob Wetter, who was the inventor of the Firewood ProSizer, saw my video, and we got connected, and he said, hey, I really appreciate you showcasing that ProSizer. After your video, apparently a number of your viewers and subscribers bought them. So you guys, thank you on behalf of Bob for making that purchase. He's a self-starter. He developed this himself. He's marketing it, and he's a great guy, and I'd love to support him. So thank you for doing that. I certainly didn't ask you to, but I gave it a good endorsement, which I stand behind. This is so Bob sent me this one here recently. Now this is what's called the ProSizer Classic, and as you can see, I've got it mounted on the 026 here. The only adjustment this has is right and left, okay, which I really think is fine. This particular model is maybe, I think, $10 or $15 cheaper than the higher level model that allows you to move the laser beam up and down. So this, I think is perfectly fine, particularly for firewood cutting, where your wood might be fairly consistent diameter. There's really no need to adjust it up or down. You saw me earlier in the video adjusting it in the garage, just sort of measuring out with a tape measure from the tip of the bar, 16 inches, and then, adjusting that length with the laser, locking in on 16 inches, and then tightening in the set screws here. Very simple. So I'm really happy with this. I better turn my lasers off. As you can see, I believe, if I remember right from the literature on them, I think on a single charge, they charge with a USB-C, I think. It's the small jack. I think I lose track of how many USB types there are, but I believe it's the USB-C, which is in here. I think a single charge will get you a good 5 hours. I haven't tested that yet, but that's probably as long as I'll ever cut, at any one time, successive cutting for firewood. But I'm very, very happy with that ProSizer. I think it's an amazing, amazing accessory. Very simple, well made. It doesn't, interfere with the function of the saw. You're not carrying around, that magnetic stick, whatever that thing is. I actually made one of those myself years ago with some magnets I got off of Amazon and some threaded rod. But that's one more thing that I'll forget, or I'll drop, or I'll trip over it. And I already went through the explanation of the paint can marker, the Mingo marker. Great tool, wonderful maybe if you're working in a wood yard where the logs are all laid out. That's fine. Definitely not a very convenient tool as far as I'm concerned when you're working out in the woods, and you've got to step over things and logs have branches still sticking up out of them. This thing, it's just real quick. So I can't say enough about it. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm still on the search. I'm still searching for dry firewood. I've got enough to probably get me through the rest of the winter season, although it certainly doesn't feel like winter, and I doubt I'll sell any wood today with 60 degrees, but I think I've got enough dry, ready to sell wood to get me through springtime. By that time, what I cut last year, which is largely ash, should be dry enough to sell. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Hey, until next time, John here from Catbird Hill. Take care. Snow's almost gone.